Hey there! Welcome, fam! How's everyone doing around the world? If this is your first time here, we're honored to have you as part of the crew. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe.
The US shocks Russia and China with a never-before-seen weapon. Yo, the US just hit Russia and China with a straight-up game-changer. They revealed a next-level weapon that's like nothing anyone's seen on this planet before. China didn't take it lightly. They rolled out the big guns. We're talking their Army, Navy, Air Force, and even missile units. They say they launched an intercontinental ballistic missile into the Pacific. At the same time, they kicked off massive military drills around Taiwan. And yeah, this hypersonic threat stuff, it's got America sweating hard. According to the Pentagon, China's leading the world in hypersonic tech. No joke. They're ahead of both the US and Russia when it comes to building hypersonic weapons with both nuclear and regular strike capability. Russia's not far behind either. They've got that avant-garde hypersonic glide vehicle that can carry nukes, plus the Zircon hypersonic cruise missile built for taking out ships and land targets. These things are built to dodge even the most advanced defense systems. Last year, Russia made headlines with a new medium-range missile they call the Oreshnik. According to the Kremlin, it's got some undisclosed hypersonic tech that's already been used in Ukraine. Even North Korea's been flexing, testing hypersonic missiles too, including some medium-range ones that supposedly go over Mach 12 and can pull off wild maneuvers that make them almost impossible to shoot down. So yeah, long story short, the US is surrounded by countries that are stacking hypersonic weapons, and Washington knows it. That's why they've been stepping up big time, and recently, they pulled off a major win in the hypersonic game, a serious message to their rivals. Let's break down what the US is cooking up. First off, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash the like if you're digging this content. Anyway, the US Navy and Lockheed Martin just ran a hypersonic defense test off the coast of Hawaii. It was all about testing how well American forces can detect and respond to hypersonic threats. The test, called Flight Test Other 40 or Stellar Banshee, used the USS Pinckney, an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer armed with the upgraded Aegis combat system and the Spy-3 radar setup. During the drill, the ship tracked and simulated an engagement with a maneuvering hypersonic target.
Chandra Marshall, VP at Lockheed Martin, said the Aegis system successfully defended against the simulated threat. She added that Aegis Baseline 9's hypersonic defense feature brings next-level capability for US warfighters.
Now let's talk missiles. The SM-6, aka RIM-174, is a beast. It's a ship-launched, multi-mission missile developed by Raytheon for the US Navy. This thing can take on air threats, surface targets, and ballistic missiles, and it's got a range of up to 230 miles, around 370 kilometers. It's a key piece of modern US missile defense. The SM-6 officially entered service in November 2013, with the USS Kidd being the first ship to deploy it. You'll now find it in several US military bases, both naval and land-based. It's used on US Navy warships and integrated into the Army's medium-range strike system. Not just in the US, though. Japan, Australia, and South Korea are all in on the SM-6 too. Japan plans to have it on their Maya-class destroyers by 2026. Australia tested it in military drills, and South Korea added it to boost regional security. And get this, the US recently deployed the Typhoon missile system, loaded with SM-6S and Tomahawks, to northern Philippines. That move really ticked off China, who claimed it was threatening the stability of the South China Sea. But the US and the Philippines clapped back, pointing fingers at Beijing for deploying their own ballistic missiles in the region. US missile defense goes beast mode. Philippines calls out China. So, the Filipino Defense Minister Gilbert Teodoro Jr. straight up called out China hard. He slammed Beijing for brushing off their concerns and basically told them, if y'all really want peace, pull your missiles and get out of the disputed zones. Now, let's talk about the SM-6 missile. This bad boy is being upgraded and spread out across Allied territory to take on the next-gen threats. The newer version, SM-6 Block IB, packs a bigger rocket engine and a revamped airframe, making it faster, deadlier, and way better at knocking down hypersonic missiles. Thanks to top-tier radar, guidance systems, and advanced navigation tech, the SM-6 is turning into a serious player in the hypersonic defense game. But the SM-6 isn't alone out there. America's missile defense squad is stacked. Here's the lineup. Mid-range ground-based defense can shoot down intercontinental ballistic missiles. Straight-up space-level interception. Aegis ballistic missile defense Navy-based, runs on U.S. warships and some land setups. Uses interceptor missiles to smack down short and medium-range missiles while they're flying in space. Also fires off SM-6S for backup during the final phase of incoming missile attacks. THAAD, or Terminal High Altitude Area Defense. A mobile land system that takes out short and medium-range ballistic missiles during their final drop. It uses a hit-to-kill method. Basically, it smashes right into the target and wrecks it. PAC-3, also known as the Patriot Advanced Capability 3. This guy handles tactical ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and enemy aircraft. It's got all the gear-phased array radar, control stations, launchers, you name it. NASAMS, or National Advanced Surface-to-Air Missile System. A short-range air defense setup. These have been deployed around supercritical areas like Washington, D.C. to keep the skies clean. Now, to really keep up with hypersonic threats, the U.S. is working on glide phase interceptors, a system that'll smack hypersonic glide vehicles out of the sky before they hit anything. It's meant to back up all the other defense systems already in place. And here's where it gets political. This whole push for better defense kicked off big time during President Donald Trump's term. His vision? Something he called America's Gold Dome Missile Defense, a futuristic shield to keep the homeland safe by detecting, tracking, and blasting enemy missiles mid-air. Trump signed the executive order just 2 weeks into office, scrapping the old U.S. missile defense policies. The idea was originally nicknamed the Iron Dome, like Israel's system, but later rebranded as the Gold Dome by the Missile Defense Agency. This new plan said loud and clear, America's got to be ready to block any aerial attack, especially nukes, from enemies like Russia or China. No exceptions. But here's the catch. Trying to build a defense that can stop a full-on nuclear strike is risky business. Experts say it gives people a false sense of security. Because no matter how tough your shield is, rivals like Russia or China can just build more nukes or change up their game to get through. Basically, in any nuclear standoff, the offense almost always has the upper hand. That's just how strategic warfare works. Back in 1972, the US and the Soviet Union actually agreed on that reality with the ABM Treaty, or Anti-Ballistic Missile Treaty. It was meant to stop both sides from going full arms race, building crazy amounts of nukes and defenses. It helped set up later agreements that limited nuclear weapons and even led to big cuts starting in the late 80s. But in December 2001, President George W. Bush officially pulled the U.S. out of that treaty, saying it no longer fit the post-9/11 world. Bush bounced from the ABM Treaty and kicked off a new missile era. Back when the U.S. ditched the Anti-Ballistic Missile Treaty, President George W. Bush said straight up, "Hey, Washington and Moscow don't need to base their whole relationship on the threat of blowing each other up anymore." He argued the only way America could build defense systems against rogue missile threats was to back out of the treaty. After the U.S. pulled out, things moved fast. America started pouring money into research and testing for missile defense tech, stuff designed to protect against potential nukes from places like North Korea. Since then, every White House, Democrat or Republican, has stuck with that limited missile defense strategy. But the debate didn't go away. People are still split. Supporters say we need to pump more funding into U.S. missile defense, expand it, and make sure we've got coverage for both the homeland and global battlefields. Critics say, nah, this stuff costs a fortune and doesn't even work that well in real-world combat, especially not against advanced nukes from big players like Russia or China. When Trump dropped his 2019 missile defense review, he actually kept a lot of the same ideas from the post-ABM Treaty era. But he also pushed for bolder research and more high-tech missile defense projects. The review straight up said, while the U.S. relies on deterrence to prevent large-scale attacks, like Russia or China launching ICBMs, our missile defense should still crush any threats from rogue states. We gotta outmatch anything they've got or could come up with. Translation? We're going all in on new tech to keep the homeland safe. So, yeah, Trump's approach wasn't some total policy flip. It just doubled down on the original goal, build enough missile defense to block a basic nuclear missile threat from North Korea, but don't go so far that China and Russia freak out thinking we're trying to make ourselves untouchable. Meanwhile,
China's not sitting around. In February, China made headlines again by dropping a game changer, an entirely new class of hypersonic air-to-air missiles. These could totally flip the balance of air power. China confirmed they've got the missile and that it passed its latest heat resistance tests, a big step for surviving crazy speeds in the atmosphere. So what's the big deal? Chinese scientists just spilled more details in a research paper published in a defense engineering journal. It breaks down the intense heat testing they did on the missile's parts. Basically, they built a wind tunnel that simulates temps of tens of thousands of degrees Celsius, conditions you'd usually only see during space re-entry. This testing is clutch. It proves the missile can handle the insane friction and heat that comes with hypersonic speed, so it won't fry its electronics or fall apart mid-flight. But heat resistance is just one part of the picture. The real kicker? Range and speed. Hypersonic missiles don't mess around. They fly faster than Mach 5 and have huge operational range, giving them a massive tactical edge. Right now, China's longest-range air-to-air missile, the PL-17, maxes out at around 350 to 400 kilometers. But this new hypersonic one, experts think it could top 1,000 kilometers, double or even triple the range. That kind of reach puts it in a whole new league. It means the missile can hit targets way beyond what traditional missiles can even dream of. And at hypersonic speeds, forget about intercepting it. Most current missile defense systems can't keep up. What's even scarier, this missile is perfect for targeting slow, high-value assets, stuff like transport planes, bombers, refueling aircraft, and early warning systems. Those are usually super vulnerable in war. But now, with hypersonic weapons in play, they can be taken out before they even see it coming. With China racing ahead in weapons tech, the US is now in a sprint of its own to stay on top. Lately, the US has been pouring resources into next-gen transport systems and advanced missile defense projects to keep its edge.
China's hypersonic missiles just changed the game. China's hypersonic missile game is leveling up fast, and it's a serious threat to the US's shiny new defense strategy. Planes that used to be considered safe enough could soon be sitting ducks. One big worry? The US military's next-gen stealth bomber, the B-21 Raider. This thing was built to sneak past enemy defenses without being spotted, but now, China's hypersonic weapons might just blow that plan out of the sky. Sure, the B-21 has top-tier stealth tech to dodge radar and infrared detection, but that might not cut it when you're dealing with missiles flying crazy fast and pulling wild maneuvers. And it's not just about launching these missiles, it's about China being able to find and lock onto stealth bombers from long distances. If they pull that off, whole new era of air warfare. The rise of hypersonic weapons is basically flipping the air combat playbook. If China keeps cranking out and deploying these systems, the idea of air superiority as we know it might be totally redefined. The US won't just need better tech, it'll need to innovate fast to keep up with an enemy that's pushing military science into what used to be straight-up sci-fi. This new hypersonic air-to-air missile China's developing isn't just cool, it's a massive upgrade to their ability to project power far beyond their borders. But fitting these missiles into their air force isn't just about slapping them on any plane. It takes serious planning to figure out which aircraft are best for carrying and launching these bad boys. You gotta consider stuff like payload capacity, flight range, and mission versatility. The top candidates? China's frontline fighter jets, especially ones that are already fast, flexible, and can strike from long distances. The main contender is the Chengdu J-20, their stealthy 5th-gen fighter. This thing's built for high-speed interception and precision strikes, loaded with advanced stealth and a solid weapons payload. It's practically tailor-made for launching hypersonic missiles. It's fast, flies high, and can engage enemy aircraft from way off. Plus, its stealth lets it get close without setting off alarms. Another possible launch platform? The Shenyang J-16 based on the Russian Su-30. It doesn't have the same stealth level as the J-20, but it's a solid all-around performer. It's a beast for both ground and air strikes and has the space and strength to carry heavier hypersonic missiles. Its high-tech radar and avionics make it a great option in missions where stealth isn't the main concern. For more long-range strategic missions, China's H6K bomber, basically a modernized Soviet T-16, could be a major player. This bird can already carry a ton of precision-guided weapons, and its long range makes it perfect for launching high-speed strikes on critical enemy targets from far, far away. It can stay outside enemy airspace and still get the job done. And get this, China's massive Y-20 cargo plane could even be used in a pinch. Yeah, it's made for transport, but with its huge cargo bay and advanced systems, it could be modified for special missions. Not a fighter, sure, But if the situation calls for quick and flexible deployment of hypersonic weapons, the Y-20 could be turned into a flying missile truck during crunch time. Bottom line, China's not playing around. Hypersonic missiles are changing everything, and the US needs to hustle if it wants to stay ahead in this high-speed arms race. If China starts strapping hypersonic missiles onto these platforms, it'd be a total game changer for how they run air ops, super fast and over seriously long distances. But just having the missiles isn't enough. To actually make it work, they've got to have solid command and control systems, and they need to be able to fire these things in all kinds of combat situations, from full-blown war zones to smaller skirmishes. And with China leveling up its tech game non-stop, you can bet they're going to keep tweaking their aircraft and boosting their air force to handle these next-gen weapons. Bottom line, the US better stay in the hypersonic weapons race, because if we fall behind, things could get real dicey real quick.
Thanks for watching, y'all. Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe. At X News, we keep it real and unbiased. Catch you in the next one. Stay safe.